So I wasn't going to do a video on this, and I know I've talked about it before, but it is just so important. I thought I need to do it. And when I purchased this hatchet, I really purchased it for the wood stove, just for doing kindling wood. And I knew it was called a framing hatchet, at least that's what someone referred to it as. And now I see why. It is just so handy. So what it is when you're working on a roof and you're doing solid boards, you're not leaving a space in between. If one board is a 1/16 of an inch down compared to the other one, your board will teeter there. So you have a bigger gap. So the gaps expand and it gets more curved if you don't take care of it. So what I mean by that is, so right here it was hitting. So I took the hatchet, and you got to be careful. This thing's really sharp. But basically, you're just hitting it like that. You know, harder though, and with two hands, one holding the board and one the hatchet, and keep your fingers away. But you're kind of estimating how far down you need to take it to take that tipping off. So in my case, the key point was right here, but then I had to taper it. I thought to here would be enough, but then I went to here, it still wasn't enough. So now to here, I'm pretty sure I tapered it all the way there. It feels pretty even. It's not an exact science, and then I tapered some this way. Don't do it towards your hands, by the way. But be really careful, because if you got this thing sharp, it's really sharp. And it's got some power behind it too. Like, I'm not even holding it. Like, I could hold it up here and get a lot more power. But honestly, I don't need it for doing this. I can hold it right here and get all the strength I need to chip it off. And I'm swinging a little bit harder than that, holding on it. But the trick is to get that so that this board fits right in there nice and snug. And yeah, I could have taken it out there and done it, but then I'd have these chips all over. Whereas here I can just sweep them up and use them for kindling wood tomorrow. So let's go out there and show you what I mean, because this is really important. If you don't do this and you're trying to go solid, I'm telling you, you're going to run into issues, because this is based on experience. I've done it. So if you're going for a solid look like this, I don't want a 1/2 inch gap in between each one. I don't want an inch. Now you could do it, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I just didn't want it. It's not what I'm going for. I want it pretty solid. Yeah, there's a little bit of gapping there, but not bad. And these are all dried, so they're not going to really shrink, and they're not going to expand unless they're wet, and they shouldn't do that. Should be wet. So let's go up here and take a closer look at what I'm talking about, because it might seem small and unimportant, but it's not, because it exaggerates itself, and it gets worse. So right here, we were down a little bit. See the difference between here and there? So you think, well, that's not a big deal, but the problem is, if you go like this, then look at that end. If you go like that, okay, now we're looking at, like a 30/2 of an inch maybe. I can live with that because we only have one more row. Now, the further up you are and you're off, the more important it is to correct it. As you get closer and closer, you might be able to get by with less. The other thing is, you can't bend these 2x4s. So I can't say, this 30/2 of an inch, yeah, I might be able to bend it that much to get that in. But that's acceptable. That's acceptable right there. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy with that. If I wasn't, all I have to do is take a little bit off right there. Matter of fact, that's really all I got to do. So you know what? I'm probably going to do that. I'm probably going to go down off the ladder carefully, grab it, take just a touch off right there, because that's where it's pivoting. Well, maybe not. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, so I might just, all it is a touch. But the thing is, you don't want it going off. You don't want your boards going crooked and doing, this on you. So correct it. If you had, you don't have to do a lot of them probably, but if you do it, when you see an issue, take care of it, then you keep pretty straight. So the framing hatchet, great tool. Keep your boards running straight and don't discount, like right here it is off, but I'm correcting it here. So you just need to do it, and you're going to get off a little bit. Like here, this board is nice and straight down through there, and then all of a sudden it's off a little bit, and it's off a little bit here, but now I'm going to take care of it. So it would have been hard to take care of here. Like, what would have I done? Taken quite a bit off, like 4 feet of that. But so it's easier to do it here. Okay, I think that's enough said, but very important. Keep everything running straight if you're going for this solid look. If you can gap, if you don't mind gapping them, then that gives you more flexibility. In fact, then you probably should run a chalk line every once in a while and make sure you are straight. Okay. And this is true with tongue and groove anytime you're doing something like this.